And welcome back to another episode of Games with Beth. It's finally time to have Yuri come over, I believe. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. Putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard anything from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. So I believe that's going to give us the same conversation. Yeah, that's giving us the same conversation where she talks about her depression. And I actually want to take a second to say that the way Sayori feels is... The music is too cheerful for me to talk about this, so I'm gonna pause it for a second. Because this is actually a serious confession. The way Sayori talks about her depression is something that I didn't admit this when I was recording that previous episode where I read through the entire thing, but I did start tearing up and choking up legitimately. I was not faking it, because the dialogue I was reading where she was talking about how painful it is, how long she's lived with depression, how some days it feels like you can't do anything, and how sometimes it hurts to have people care about you, but at the same time you kind of still want it. That's a very real thing that I felt, and it was very strange to see a character in a video game express that same feeling. And I haven't known too many forms of media that express that so bluntly and in such a way that I related to. Like, there's been a lot of characters who have shown depression or have been implied to have depression, but they don't have serious conversations like that. Or they do, but some of what they say doesn't resonate with me, but that with Sayori really did. And it was touching to have that moment. And maybe it's just the fact that video games are a very intimate platform, especially when it's in this case where you are the protagonist, you are this person. It's not like a separate character that you're controlling. Like, this is supposed to be you, except, in my case, it's giving me masculine pronouns, but I obviously go by she, her pronouns, and I can't change that. But it's supposed to be me, and it felt very intimate. It felt like it was speaking to me, and I don't know. I just wanted to give that credit. I thought that was very genuine and very... I don't want to glorify depression by saying it was beautiful, but it felt comforting to have someone write that dialogue exchange, because what Sayori said is very much how I've felt before, and it just kind of resonated with me. I guess that's what I want to say, and I want to give it credit for being like that and saying what it did. Anyway, let's get back into the game. The audio is back. I turned it back on, so now we can have a happy moment. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started getting really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home.
I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason.
It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you.
That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well?
Yeah, pretty much. At least, I hope I got everything right.
I'm sure it will be fine.
I take Yuri to my room. Oh, look at all those books. Are they all manga? Is that why you claim you're not a good reader? The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious.
It's so clean.
I cleaned it before you came over, so...
That's very considerate of you to do.
No. I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here.
Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean.
That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatch Yuri's wrist, which is in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out.
It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if to make sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started?
Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help out with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements.
Atmospheric enhancements?
You know. Mood lightening, aromatherapy candles.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far.
Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more.
That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person.
Intense?
I guess that's the best way to put it.
Is that a bad thing?
No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually.
Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy.
Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little.
Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Let's see.
Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object.
I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you?
Yeah, that would be really neat. What's the wooden thingy, though?
Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy?
Not familiar at all.
Is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herb you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic.
I feel that. I actually have, like, some essential oil bottles. But my diffuser is, like, water-based, and the oils can't go in the water. So I actually have to get a new one. But I like scented candles and special smells. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to sprout through a small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for?
This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer, your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that will be perfect for sharing our poems?
It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for?
Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get?
Yeah, I have it over here.
We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them.
Oh yeah? What will those be used for?
Well, I'm going to cut the pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside.
That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri.
Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you put it.
Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Or maybe it's the jasmine smells.
Here's a marker, Bee. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons.
Alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into the bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Oh! Why not scissors? Why don't you have scissors? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. Looks really fancy.
Well,
embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it?
You're going to think it's weird.
Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know?
If you promise you won't be weirded out.
Yeah, I promise.
Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe. What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this.
You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you.
Suits me?
Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife, I can't deny that.
It is, isn't it?
Yuri relaxes her expression once again.
Would you like to hold it?
Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where would you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger.
Ow! Me? Why did you do that?
I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all.
It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no.
A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. Oh! You're not dogs. You can't do that. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. I'm uncomfortable. Startled, I instinctively pull back my hand.
Oh, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking.
Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri,
that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry.
Sure, it was a little weird, but it took me by surprise. But I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return.
But Bee! Did you really just do that?
Now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now.
You're so weird, Bee.
Yuri giggles shyly. Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that.
Where do you keep your bandages?
I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding.
I see. That's relieving.
The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, it continued to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out, side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thing coming up with this, Yuri.
Thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind?
I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets.
Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets.
We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of these tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us?
Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute.
Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cup too much, it will be too diluted.
Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri?
Yes?
I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything?
No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint.
Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups.
So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the color for sunrise, then daytime, then sunset, and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspiration quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall beside the podium at the front of the classroom.
Neat. What are you going to write?
Well, it will be more fun to surprise you.
Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other.
Whoa.
Shaky dogs. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. That kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing.
I'm sorry if this feels too childish.
No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know?
Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too.
Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself.
For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one person. Even if it's something simple like reading. It doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me making things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy.
Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently.
I knew you'd understand.
Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers.
Kit!
Sorry. So sorry. Yuri reels back, and I quickly lift my head in surprise. Are you hurt?
No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me.
It's not your fault. Your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck.
Is there something on my face?
Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Oh, nice. This is cute. Here, I pat down Yuri's face and neck with a towel. Is something wrong?
It's hot. I just didn't expect it.
Sorry. I didn't use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds my wrist.
Wait. Just for a little longer. It feels really nice.
I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books, almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped in her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist send a tingling sensation through my arm, and suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away.
Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to fake out.
It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking.
I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results.
Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now?
Not yet. It needs to dry first.
That's true, but won't that take a while?
Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here then. And you can bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here.
Phew.
You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit?
No, it's not that. I'm just glad we managed to get everything done.
I see. I am, too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon.
So you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work.
Well,
Yuri thinks to herself.
I think it would be too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well.
It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker.
No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is we got everything done, right?
Yeah.
So, I shouldn't be disappointed or anything.
Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. Sounded like she really gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. That doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door.
Thank you very much for having me today.
No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow.
I will. Well then.
Yuri fidgets.
I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Wait. I kind of say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can hang out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out too much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so...
You're very thoughtful, Lee.
Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand.
I kind of like that about you.
Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to as Yuri suddenly pulls back.
Sayori!
Huh? Hi, B. Sayori! Just now, we weren't...
It's okay, B. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Really? That's too bad. I'm sorry, but we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right?
Of course. Sayori beams.
Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today.
Well.
Okay, so this is the same discussion too. So we're going to speed through this one. Out of curiosity only, I'm going to save right here and see what happens when I say you'll always be my dearest friend. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were.
I see.
Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression.
Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this.
Sayori.
It's okay. This is just my punishment. Remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here, just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just want it to go back to the way it was.
I realize that now. You really do know better than anyone else. You really do know me better than anyone else, B. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So, Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. No, she screams, clutching her head with both hands. She screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. So, that was a little more tragic to see that. And I think that was probably the worst possible thing I could have done. Okay, so we're going to pick this up next episode, and you know what that means. We're going to be restarting, going down Sayori's route. And hopefully that will make things a little bit better on her end. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!